Okay guys, we are going to do a puddle pour today because I'm going to do this video for the Puddle Pour Monochromatic October Pouring Challenge with Nikki James Birch. And I saw this on Facebook and I also saw it on YouTube and I thought it would be fun. And not just because of the challenge, but also because purple is my favorite color. And I'm like, what better way to play with paint than to do your favorite color? And I kind of like seeing how many different shades I can get. So here are my colors. Let's see here. So these, I should have done this before I turned the camera on. So these four are all the same color, but just different shades. So in here I have Prussian blue with, you can't even see the label, with some red violet purple. It's more of a red tone purple. And then mix that together, it created a really dark, like aubergine eggplant purple that I was really digging. And then I added a little bit more of this to brighten it up just a touch. Obviously, that's not a very bright purple color. And then I added some golden interference blue to give it just a little bit of a more, I don't know, metallic sheen. And I really love the way it turned out. So this one is the same colors with a little bit of white, even more white, and even more white. So this looks white, but it's not. It is a very light lavender shade. So I don't know if you can tell the difference between those two. So basically I wanted something that was still purple that still fit the challenge, because you can't use black or white in this challenge. It's strictly purples and different shades of purple. So I wanted something to kind of replace the white but still be purple. So what I did was just took a bunch of white, added a little bit of this color into it to give it a lavender tone. So it still fits, but it's super light. Okay, so this one is just this red tone, red, violet, purple. That is straight Dioxazine purple from Liquitex. This one is metallic purple from Loft. And then this one is Dioxazine purple with white. And if you're wondering about getting cracking or the viscosity of your paint, how thin or thick it is, see if I can get it to show you. So it should fall off the stick in a ribbon. So it shouldn't be like water, that's way too thin. You don't want to add a lot of water to your paint. You don't want it to be, I wouldn't even go as far as 25% water to my paint because it thins it down too much. You're interfering with the binding in the paint itself when you thin it. So that's why you want to use something like a pouring medium, either Liquitex maybe. There's lots and lots of paint companies that produce artist quality paints that make their own pouring mediums. I'm in the US, so the most popular ones are Liquitex or Floetrol. Floetrol is the one I use because this is the most economical one and I have had no problems with it. I've had one painting I've had crack, but I think that was because of the varnish I put on top of it, not because of the paints. This is another pouring medium that I like. Liquitex Iridescent Medium, but this little bottle, 8 ounces, is 10 bucks. So I only buy it on sale and I only use it here and there. I don't use it for every pour I do. It's just too expensive. I just can't afford to do that. Floetrol, on the other hand, is $14 for a gallon here in the States. I know in Europe you can get Owatrol, O-W-A-T-R-O-L. It is basically the European version of Floetrol. You can get that in the States. I know a lot of American artists use it, but I found Floetrol first. That was the first thing I came across when I discovered this form, and I was like, oh, that looks like so much fun. I want to get in on that. So Floetrol was the first thing I tried. It's worked so far. Of course, it's worked beautifully for every painting I've done. And I'm careful about how much I add to my paints to thin it down. So I use a 2-to-1 ratio of Floetrol to paint. 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. I don't measure. I just kind of do it by eye, and I do it by how thin or thick I want my paint. So if it's not flowing off the stick like that with just the Floetrol and paint, I will add a tiny bit of water. And by tiny bit, I mean like 1/4 of a teaspoon at a time. Not much at all, just a little bit. Because once you thin it down too much, then you have to add paint back in to thicken it up again, and it just becomes a big pain in the butt, to be honest. So I like Floetrol. And some people have mentioned a smell with it. I don't notice a smell, and I am kind of sensitive to smells. So do what you do, you know. Some people use glue. I haven't found that necessary. I like the ease of just using Floetrol. Simple, easy. So anyway, moving on to the good part, the paint. Part of the challenge is to only use a fork. The only way you can manipulate your paint and move it around is tilting or a good old-fashioned fork. So let's get to the fun part. So I've got a 16 by 20 canvas, if I didn't mention that before, and then underneath it I've got 2 foil baking pans. These happen to be 13 by 9, but you can get bigger ones. They're super cheap. Cooling rack that's got little feet on it, and then on the bottom here is a foil pan that goes in the bottom of your oven. So, and I just do that to give myself some room to get under the canvas to pick it up. And it helps paint to drip off and some sort of containment system. I have not varnished this yet, but I did get a little bit of cell action down in this corner. No silicone in this. And all purple tone, so didn't quite work out with the challenge with the puddle pouring. I just couldn't get it to look nice. I just didn't like it. So it was, rather than waste the paint, waste the canvas, I just did a dirty pour on it, which I like how this turned out. Almost has like a space kind of feel to it, like a nebula type of thing. And then this one was what I did with the leftover paint that I had. And I don't really like this one too much. It's not terrible. I wanted this bright violet, red violet tone to kind of come out more, but I was having a hard time getting it to show up. And I didn't want to make more just for this, so I just kind of did the best I could with it. And then I've got some blown edges here and here. I really like the smoky effect that this gives. But I don't know. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. So those are both 8x10s. Give you a quick look at those at the end of the video. So 2-to-1 ratio of Floetrol to paint, tiny bit of water, and I pour. And I use pre-gessoed canvases, so I don't put another layer of gesso on them before I pour. The pre-gessoed ones have worked perfectly for me. No silicone. And yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you think. Thank you for subscribing and watching and commenting. I really enjoy interacting with everybody. And now I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.